Yeah,
Woo, I love that song. I love that song. There he is, looking good, drinking a ton of water. It looks like my good, good
half
day.
a gallon, half
Uh,
gallon a day.
got the Christmas
Keeps
tree
a
up.
gallon a day keeps the COVID away, huh?
Yeah, well, that's what we thought.
How you
Next thing you
feeling?
know, you got two double lines. I'm fine.
All
I
right,
thought I
good.
had a head cold. I'd been to the last year. I'd been to Florida 4 times. I've been to Vegas, Nashville, trip to Wake Forest. Not so much as a sniffle, and then bam, Thursday night before I leave, COVID. But you might have seen on Twitter last night the whole debacle of my hotel situation. I accidentally booked a hotel for the weekend before. So when I go to cancel my hotel reservation last week, I realize there's nothing to cancel because I just missed my reservation. So I got the money, but I lied and told them I had COVID for like 2 weeks. But Jim Calhoun, not a dime back. Not a dime back. The money is gone. They are not. So now I can publicly say I might have told them I had COVID for a long time, but I got the money back for the hotel. And we're being honest, wasn't a bad weekend to miss. So the excitement and the whole atmosphere, I missed out on that. But when you look at how the games ended up, I might have dodged a bullet.
And you were asymptomatic. Don't come on here talking about lying about that kind of thing. It was Richie
I had a
COVID
head
shot.
cold.
I like that.
No, I
right.
mean I had a head cold. I had sniffles, coughing. It wasn't. I honestly I really thought it was a sinus infection because I didn't have a fever. So,
All right,
and I'm like, I
John.
haven't had it this far.
Have you seen Richie's basketball picks? Like, have you seen how he's doing?
Oh, I've seen it. He's been doing very well, and I noticed how Richie and Nick like to take shots at me and my record. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm coming back. I'll make a comeback. By the time the season's over, I will not be in last place.
Oh,
It could all just come crashing down. I went 1-2 last night, so it wasn't a great start to the week. But I've set the groundwork for going 500 in basketball. Things could go drastically wrong. And I think with Gonzaga, I'm 15-6-1. So that's a pretty good start. It's a pretty good start.
yeah. I just was making sure John was following along, and don't make it like Liberty on Friday night that your comeback comes up short and takes it all out of you. Don't get too far behind. All right, Richie, talk to
Yeah.
us about Liberty versus New Mexico State. It's Thanksgiving week. Students likely won't be there as much. I'm guessing this will be our lowest attended game of the year. I'm hoping not, but I'm guessing so. We got a rain in the forecast, and Liberty's coming off of what have been two tough losses. You gotta wonder what's the team locker room like right now. So yeah, all that to say, all right, what do you have for the Liberty game this week?
Well, I had said that I'm done betting Liberty sides. I'm just going over unders for the rest of the year. And after just the heartbreak that was Saturday afternoon, when they gave Virginia Tech the 2-point conversion, go to commercial break, someone DMs me and they're
Oh,
like,
that
way
was
to hit that.
brutal.
They're like, way to hit that over. I said, let's wait and see what happens. Because I was like, that play's close. I don't know if they're going to review it. They come back from the break and they're like, yep, took the points off, kickoff. I went, you've got to be kidding me. And then no points the rest of the game. An absolute just heartbreaker. I had two heartbreakers. App State just could not cover a spread. I don't remember who they were playing, but they let them just march down the field and score a meaningless touchdown with 2 minutes to go. Ruined the massive parlay I had. So it was just like bad beat after bad beat, but it is what it is. So I've given up over-unders now too, which leaves me back to unretiring from betting the side. So Liberty, 1-6 as a favorite this year against the spread. 1-6. The one win was against Old Dominion, and even that we needed a miraculous number one play of the day catch to make that a couple lucky plays. And there was the tipped pass that fell right in his hands and went to the house. It's 14 points. Should have had no business covering that game. Should be 0-7 as favorites against the spread this year. 24 points is a lot of points. It is going to be rainy, and it is going to be a quiet game. Obviously, we're going to a bowl game. Ideally, they're going to try to right the ship and go into a bowl game with a little bit more momentum. But 24 points is a lot of points, and I don't foresee that happening when you're 1-6 against the spread. I'm sorry. I'll have people tweeting and DMing me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we just roll away with it. But for this situation, for looking at the numbers, bet the number, not the team. If I'm looking at the numbers, you can't say, you gave me a blind resume. I'm going to go, yeah, give me the team that doesn't cover as favorites and give me New Mexico State. So that is what it is. Sorry, not sorry.
I just got a text. Your media credential has been revoked for all that criticism of Liberty University.
It's not even critical. Like, I'm thrilled with this season. I'm happy with it. Like, I was not the sky is falling when we lost to UConn, the sky falling when we lost to Virginia Tech. And then, like we said, the grand scheme of things, not that those games don't count, not that those games don't matter, because they absolutely do, but they're not affecting anything when it comes to the season. And I will happily take Arkansas and BYU for those 2 losses. So I no criticism. I love the 4th and 12 call. I didn't love the play call itself, but I liked going for it. So it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of points though for Liberty cover. 24. New Mexico State's only allowing like 23 points all season. I mean, how many games has Liberty even scored 30 plus points? Unless you're expecting Liberty to get a shutout against the Aggies. 24 is a lot of points, especially on a wet day, cold day. That's a lot of points.
Yeah. And
so what I'm hearing you guys say is the 74.5 over under seems to be a play here.
Is that a typo?
I think it's a typo. I think
that's got to be a typo, because if that's not a typo, I'm gonna go take out a second mortgage on my house and put it on the under. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm not really going to do that. Pretty sure it's 54.
I'm not really going to do that. Anybody listening, bet responsibly.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Richie gave out a great shout out last week for betting responsibly. All right, Richie, you got 4 more picks here to get to. Let's get the rundown. It looks like a full Saturday slate. That's not your typical Maction and Thursday night. Just didn't see anything you like there, and you're going full Saturday from 12, 3, 7, and 7:30. That looks good.
Very simple. Thursday's Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays. It's for NFL. I don't care what anyone says. I know. I think Thursday night's Egg Bowl day. Don't care. Just a higher lane and keep it moving. I don't like any of the Maction games tonight, although I found it's kind of cool. The 2 teams are playing. The winner gets to go to the Bahamas Bowl. That's what we need in college football. Like, hey, let's put all the cards on the table now. Like, if you win this game, you get to go to this bowl. Like, let's cut the exaggeration out of it. The guessing game out of it. Like, let's make things fun like that. So that's cool. Fridays for Team USA. I'm also playing in a charity golf tournament all day. And not going to be watching any college football. I'll be watching the soccer game and then having myself a great Friday. So that leaves all of our games on Saturday. So rivalry day. I don't love taking a bunch of rivalry games just because, things get wonky in rivalry games. But we're going to kick things off with Coastal JMU. That's way too many points. Coastal's playing for, I think, the division title. I don't care. They've played well without Grayson. I have no reason to think that they're not going to, keep it close. JMU, I think twice this year they've gone. They were down like almost 20 points, came back and squeak it out at the end. So a team like that has a couple of wins where they had to charge back late, they might win, but 14 points is a lot. I also trust Coastal going on the road. Again, it's Thanksgiving weekend. How many fans are going to be at JMU for that game? It's not going to be a crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say Coastal also had an extra week to prepare. They were supposed to play UVA last week, and that game got canceled. So they had an extra week to prepare and get ready for the Dukes. While JMU, I think, Richie, you even texted me during the Liberty game that at least JMU is getting beat bad. And then I checked my scores after the game and like, man, they won. What happened here?
Yeah.
So JMU was in a dogfight late Saturday, and while Coastal was just sitting home down at the beach.
Yeah. So I'll absolutely take it. Again, Coastal's playing for something. So next up, Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. Auburn might have a little bit of an offense now. Cadillac Williams has them humming, and 48.5 points in an Iron Ball. Well, like when Alabama not going to try to score points? There's a good chance this is Bryce Young's last game because there's going to be a lot of Alabama players that are not going to play in the Mayo Bowl. So I can
If Brian Harsin had recruited anything and had any type of roster and gotten anything in the transfer portal, he wouldn't have been out by a year and a half. That roster is depleted. Yes, they've played hard for Cadillac the last few games, but whenever you get Iron Bowl and you get Alabama and Auburn, nothing about your bet should be about the emotions of the game. Everything about your bet should be about the rivalry. And I think that the Cadillac emotions are going to be overtaken by the Iron Bowl emotions, and Alabama is going to be able to raise to that same level of desperation, and we need this. I just don't think Brian Harsin had enough of a roster there. Matter of fact, it is so depleted that if I were a head coach, I would not want to go to Auburn and try to rebuild that roster. It is
I agree.
an uphill battle there.
If anyone is listening or knows
That's
anyone,
right, that's right.
and you hear about Auburn, I don't think it's worth it. But
not worth it at all.
Not worth it.
No.
No, why would you go? What's the fun in Auburn?
That's my point. Is Brian Harsin left maybe 10 SEC guys on that roster, and everybody else is transferred out or didn't. He couldn't get in there. So it's a terrible roster, terrible situation, and I think that the Cadillac mojo's run out, and Alabama's going to put it on them. So I disagree with you.
Yeah, it could be.
You're taking the over. Oh yeah, 40, you're taking the
49
over.
nothing. Thank you. Thanks for coming. We'll see you bowl week.
All right, what do you got for LSU, Texas A&M? Is this a rivalry week? Like, what was the Texas A&M? Who did Texas A&M used to play in their rivalry week?
Somebody in the Big 12.
Still delusional. Yeah, probably. I think Tech.
Probably
Texas
right?
Tech.
Tech makes sense.
I think LSU used to play Arkansas this week.
Yeah,
that's
back
right.
before the SEC expanded.
So why do you like LSU minus 9.5?
Because Texas A&M has quit. They are just a bad football team. Their team is in shambles. The locker room is a mess. Do you think they want to play this game? Do you see how many people were at the Texas A&M game last week? I don't care they were playing UMass. There was nobody there. It was embarrassing. Yes, this game means nothing for LSU, but they're not going to lay an egg and lose to Texas A&M before they go play Georgia next week. Like, Brian Kelly is a good enough coach to not let that happen, that they are going to get out to a decent lead. They should be up. That's just a good first half line. I don't know what the first half line is, but definitely jump on LSU early. Even if they let the foot off the gas, they're up 21. Is Texas A&M going to score? Is Texas A&M going to score points against a fellow SEC team? No, they're not. So I'm not having it. I don't see it at all. So I think LSU 9.5, double digits, pretty much. Probably my favorite pick of the week.
Same. I will reiterate that if that job comes open, and if you know anybody listening, that is not a good roster right now. It would take a whole lot of work, and the locker room's in shambles because you got freshmen getting $800,000 NIL money. You got defensive linemen leading the team in tackles getting $0 of NIL money. You got it's just a complete mess down there. Would not want to take that over. Not interested. All right,
LSU minus 5.5 first half.
Love it. And that'll probably be what I actually bet is that first half. Also, speaking of not, reasons not to go places, Malik, he didn't want to stay at Auburn. Why would anyone want to go to Auburn? So it's just another reason, feather in the cap. Notre Dame, USC, another kind of rivalry game. USC, kind of a wagon. They have a shot to sneak into the playoffs. They're not going to sneak into the playoffs with 2 losses. And Notre Dame, I don't think is very good. They have beaten up on a very poor ACC this year. I mean, I know they just beat Boston College, who, no offense, one of my best friends is a BC alumni, but BC stinks. And Notre Dame has lost multiple games this year to terrible teams. Pull up their schedule real quick. This is great podcasting. They beat Navy by 3, big time. The service academies are not very good this year. Respect the troops, though. They beat UNLV. They lost to Stanford. They beat BYU. They beat UNC by 7, which that wasn't a great win. Like, Notre Dame hasn't had to play anyone, and they're going to play a potential Heisman Trophy candidate with Caleb Williams. So this is good. This is going to be his Heisman game. The Heisman Trophy race is still wide open. He's a dark horse. He's like 10-1 when I last saw. He's putting up numbers the last 2 weeks. They're going to hang it. It's at USC. I think they're going to score at will. And I just look, all right, spreads 5, over under 62.5. So you're telling me that Notre Dame's going to score 28 points? No, not happening. And even if they do, USC is going to score 42. So give me that. Minus, anything with a touchdown I like. Even if the game goes to overtime, you got a shot to still cover. And if you take a look at that year to date, someone's creeping towards 500. So just when we get close, I just piss down my leg. I go 1-4, and it all goes downhill. So I'm feeling pretty good. I think the end game is for me to be at 500 for Liberty's bowl game. If I can be at 500 for Liberty's bowl game and have that be my last pick of the year, where all my eggs are in the basket to go 500, it'll be the most entertaining outcome, where it's either 500 or bust, and it's all on the Flames.
All right. I'm not saying that you won't be able to make the bowl trip or you won't be able to make the bowl episode, but this is our final regular season episode. And I wanted to just thank you for all you've done for the podcast. The people's champion. People absolutely love you and go crazy every time I mention your name on Twitter. So if I'm having a bad day and just want to get my Twitter dopamine up in my mentions, I just put Richie Longshot's name in there, and it's just like, woo, the whole day is just made up of fun. And so, man, hey, really appreciate it. Really stinks that you couldn't make it last week, but looking forward to seeing you down the bowl game and watching you on the basketball show. That's been a lot of fun too. So appreciate all the work you're doing, and keep it up, man.
Thank you guys. This all, I think you texted me, and like, I know, I did a recording thing last year, I think for homecoming. And you texted me in August, like, you want to do it again? And, it started with me just recording in my dining room. And then we were kind of like, all right, I think we got something good here. Like, let's get on live. Let's make this a thing. And I think it's gone well. And I know we've already talked a little bit about next year. And contract negotiations are in a great spot. So we're looking forward to getting that finalized, and got some good stuff planned for next year.
Hey, similar to the Auburn and Texas A&M situations, there might be another couple of situations with a website or two popping up for you here in the near future. Just take a long, hard look, and see if that's something you really want to do, or if you want to stay with what John labeled the flagship earlier. And I love it. So anyway, hey man, appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the NFL.
Happy Thanksgiving,
and we'll talk
guys.
to you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving.